And how have you been? What's up? How are you? New York City Meat Company. You can't beat our meat.
That's right.
Can't beat Dave Gahan's meat?
It's, no. It's, well, you can if you like, but we won't get into that right now. We can if you want, but probably not a good idea.
Tour manager, first question. No. How are you?
She wants to beat my meat.
Is how are you easier?
Yeah, that's better, yeah. I'm very good, thanks. Yeah, excited about tonight.
Yes, definitely. I've been reading the diary online and a couple concert reviews, and I know you've been quite eclectic in the album and Depeche Mode songs. And how is it just to be on those smaller stages and see the fans and actually be able to, like, you know,
Right.
reach out and go, hey, you're really close.
It's different, and you know what? It's been different every night. We don't know what to expect. You know, we've been playing in Europe for a while, and we did a lot of different kind of shows. We did a lot of festivals. So sometimes you're on a big stage, and sometimes you know at 5 o'clock at night, and sometimes you're in some club at 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
But so far, touch wood. Somewhere, I'm sure there's wood in here somewhere. It's been great, and a constant sort of surprise, to be honest. We've seen as well as we've gone along how everybody's kind of definitely got more into the album. Mm-hmm. Singing songs, singing along with me, and it's always a risk, or you feel like it is, or kind of like you have to feel it out in the first few songs in, and. Yeah, exactly, and it's like, but I kind of know, when I feel that from the audience, and some places are different, it's that's a good thing. It's supposed to be different,
I have a feeling that it was really time about more than just recently for you to do this. It's been lingering inside your head for a while, this solo album, right?
I think so, and it just kind of was like overtaking all of me, just, okay, you want to do something different, you want to try some new things, and during the making of Exciter, I think, with Depeche, with Martin, I realized that even the few ideas that I try to contribute, and of course I sing, and that's my voice is what I contribute, and always has, and my performance, and bringing some kind of energy to what we know as the music of Depeche Mode, and somehow bringing it to life. That's always sort of been my mission, and that's been great. But I really felt like with Exciter, I've got all these ideas boiling up inside of me, and there's no outlet for them, And it didn't seem like Martin was able to receive, for whatever reason, my ideas, or even, I played him some songs, and his response was, he thought they were pretty good, but he didn't turn around and say, great, can we use some of these songs, and should we work on them, so I knew it was. I got to do something different and step out on my own a little, and see how that feels. And it's different. It's really different. Coming up from behind this big sort of machine that's been working for years, and it's been fantastic. And I'm really proud of all Depeche stuff. Obviously, I perform Depeche songs live.
Well, it seems that a lot of times in artists' career, the solo album is kind of this big, grandiose, pompous move, but for you it seems kind of to be the opposite. It's like, okay, well, I'm really exposing myself now to be really vulnerable, and it seemed like a riskier thing to do, than actually it is like,
I can see that now. I can see that, and how people, because a lot of people have said that, and but I think that's a good thing, because what I wanted to do was express my feelings, and I had all these feelings inside of me that I couldn't even put into words until I started to work with Knox on the songs, and the music and the words were coming together and coming out at the same time, and sometimes, and just trying to get those ideas down. That was the real fun part, and you know, I think after we'd probably written maybe like 7 songs together or something, we realized that we were working on sort of a body of work, and that we were both expressing our feelings musically and doing it sort of mutually and together, which was really nice, you know, to work with somebody and just enjoy it. You know, that's not something that I've ever kind of expected of Martin, because he's always said it's not the way he likes to. Martin likes to sit in a room on his own with his guitar, work out a song, you know, verbatim, you know, words, melodies, and then come to me and say, hey, look, this is what I've done, what do you think? And so I don't know, you know, anything's possible in the future, but I can't see myself like sitting with Martin writing a song. But who knows?
Participating?
Well, I definitely can't make another Depeche Mode record unless I'm really sort of participating, at least my own songs, or at least my own ideas, and that they are supported as much as I support, you know, Martin's ideas.
Yeah, absolutely. So, has Martin heard the record at all?
Have
you heard his?
But yes, I have, and you know, I listened to his record, and I think it's pretty good, and it's kind of what I expected, you know, to be honest. Yeah, a little bit, you know. No, not really. I'm just being honest. It is kind of what. There wasn't really any surprises there, even in the type of songs that Martin covered. Apart from the Willie Dixon version of, you know, we all know as the Zeppelin song, My Time of Dying, and that was kind of surprising. And the Julie Cruz song I liked, but the Nick Cave stuff and that, you know, it's a tall order, Mark, to you know, fill the shoes of John Lennon, Nick Cave, just to name a couple, and so it was brave of him. I think it was a very brave album to make, but and I think Martin comes from a perspective that that's the kind of music that's inspired him over the years, and he's kind of paying tribute, you know, completely different to what I did really with Paper Monsters, yeah.
And so, in your saying that you presented these songs to him and to the band at the time of Exciter, the songs maybe that are now on the album or whatnot.
Not really though. Not like to say not. Yeah, some of them. Black and Blue Again was one of them, but not
That's
like.
One of my favorites.
Yeah, it's probably one of my favorites too, especially live. It really is very powerful, and.
But to go and.
But I didn't offer them up. I didn't kind of like go, hey, like, I got these songs. I want them to be on this album.
Yeah.
And I think that was because inside of me I knew that it wasn't supposed to be 2. It was something else.
Supposed to be yours.
Something else, a different challenge, whatever that's supposed to be. And so as quick as I sort of got them out and put them on the table, I put them back in my pocket.
Good for you. Yeah. Those are mine.
Yeah,
I'm keeping them.
I got that message loud and clear, you know.
And how hard was it to gather up the strength after, you know, if 40 years on into your life, saying, okay, I'm finally going to put the pen to the paper. Have you been writing all along and we've just never known about it? Or were you kind of fearful of doing that?
I've always been writing. I always write. And, you know, not necessarily in the form of a song, but I've always, you know, especially in the last about 10 years, I would say, been writing more. And those ideas have evolved more into songs, you know, poems, whatever you want to call them, and feelings, and then finding a way to actually, rather than sort of like lay out a specific topic, that's not really the way at the moment that I write. It's more about the way I feel and trying to express that through words. It's quite difficult sometimes because, first of all, because I sometimes there is no words to describe a feeling, but when you put when you feel something, and especially through music, I think it evokes things anyway, and sometimes it's got nothing to do with, like, it feels like it's got absolutely nothing to do with me, and that's a really nice feeling. When I'm sitting there and I'm trying to force something out, it doesn't really work for me. Or if I'm trying to plan it out too much, it's kind of like it definitely evolves with me anyway. working with somebody else and working off like being with another human being, and those feelings that you know, that is something that has always been something I've felt, even if you can't describe it in words. You know, there's a connection.
Yeah, well, you definitely get that from watching you guys work in the studio on the record or whatnot, and there seems to be still in the lyrics this this attraction to a darker side or a nastier or a sexier side. Mm-hmm. Is that necessary for you in rock and roll? The bluesy element, the definitely gritty, you like the black and blue, the dirty, sticky floors.
Yeah. I think it's necessary for me, period, in life, you know. And I've just found a way now to sort of express it without destroying myself, which is good, you know.
Well, you know, it's actually healthy, because I remember when we talked at the time of Exciter, I said, wow, this is not someone that's just like 12-stepping his way back into life. You seemed really sane, which is really kind of rare sometimes when people come out of these processes. And now it seems to even be on the further degree of just, you know, laughing at it a little bit and taking the piss, like in Dirty Sticky Floors. How did you manage to maintain that?
Well, I don't think it's something that I could have done 10 years ago. And it's nice to be on the other side and be sort of looking in and see it going on, and to be able to reflect on all that, you know, pain, you know, is the only way, really, and trying to cover up that pain with other things, whether it's, you know, drugs, alcohol, sex, whatever, rock and roll, you know. But now I feel like you know, I can kind of do it all, but I don't have to like live like vicariously through a very damaged, you know, human being, you know, and I can just, it's just more fun to reflect on it and play with it than actually be it.
And how do you react when you see, you know, if you play these big rock festivals or whatnot in Europe, and you're seeing all these bands and you're going, dude, I know where you are. Yeah. I know what you're going through right now.
It's really fun, yeah. Really? Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and I mean, believe me, on any given day, I can get just as sort of wrapped up in my own self-importance, but in the big, when I'm able to step back for a minute in this like big scheme of things, and like just put a bit of perspective on what's actually going on, as in the words of the Stones, you know, it's only rock and roll, and it's supposed to be fun, and you know, if you don't kill yourself on the way, it can really be great. But and I see a lot of other bands going through the same things, and it's, you know, I think there's a lot to be said for any band that can survive as long as, say, Depeche Mode have. You know, through anything, you know, and through all the stuff, no matter how much success you have, it's going to take its toll on you. It's going to take its toll on yourself, on your relationships with, you know, you're traveling all the time. That still happens, but just I'm able to handle it slightly better today than what I did, like, sort of 10 years ago.
Does that have anything to do with your kids, your family, everything to do with it?
It's definitely got a lot to do with that, and actually my son from England, Jack is on a plane right now, like flying over right now, and he's going to be arriving tonight.
And he's quite old compared to your other daughter, right?
He's 16 in October, so...
Oh my God.
Yeah, so he's showing up, and then in about a week, my wife and the other two kids are coming out as well, so we're going to be traveling to the end of August, and that's going to be fun.
And what does your son Jack, at the age of 16, think of Dad and his paper monsters?
He really likes the album, you know, and I asked him flat out, like, when I first played him, like, stuff like Dirty Sticky Floors, and he was like, you know, if I didn't know it was you or anything, and him and his friend Ollie and Dan in school, they were like, you know, this is cool. Like, you know, they could definitely get into it, you know. You know, especially if I didn't know it was you, Dad, you know. You know, I think that's probably kind of a bit weird for him to actually sort of, No, it's just, you know what, it's great seeing him grow up, and he's into all kinds of other stuff now. You know, he's out. He was really into the Chili Peppers for a while. He's into Coldplay. He's really into Radiohead right now, but he's also gone out and, you know, I went out with him and we bought Zeppelin and, you know, and Hendrix and the Stones and all that kind of stuff. And so he's getting his history lessons in music.
I'm sure you'd be a pretty good rock and roll historian and mentor. I'm pretty sure.
I hope so.
Well, thank you very much. Play a kick-ass show. Have fun.
You going to come tonight?
Of course.
All right, great. We'll come and say hello.
Thank you. I will.
Yeah.